Alright, it's now September 24th. We still don't have a ban list, but we've gotten the new Pharaohs God 10, so there's been a couple of updates and a couple of reprints that kind of helped out the deck. So just wanted to do a deck profile as a reference, or if you guys wanted to try this out and play it out, feel free to. It's a really fun deck. I've been playing this for quite some time and made quite a bit of changes, so I was able to change this up to be able to adapt to the meta, and so far it's doing okay. Testing it online and a couple games with some friends. So for the Scareclaw part, it's gonna be one Visa Starfrost. Don't really like the 3 copies. I think it's more of like a it's good, it helps out the deck, but doesn't really need it a whole lot. There's a couple of plays that you can do with this, trying to go into the Hulk combo, or trying to go synchro with the Cheng right away, and Cheng is a pretty good card. So triple Reichart, because that'll be your searcher, and also at the same time it's a level 4, so that this Visa Starfrost and Reichart would be your Cheng materials. And then for the little guys, the triple Acro, triple Balloon, and triple Astro. So these guys are the one that kind of gives push to the Scareclaw Tryhard. See if there's a glare in there. There we go. So Acro is the one that gives Tryhard 300 attack for every defense position monster you control. Balloon would give your Tryhard piercing, and then Astra will be able to get Tryhard to attack multiple times depending on how many different name of Scareclaw monster you control. So those are the Scareclaw cards. I max out on all of them because it's pretty much like a 1-card combo. So you can normal summon it, go into Lightheart, get the field spell, and then kind of pop off from there. And then for supports, triple Rescue Cat, really good. I'm still kind of iffy on this just because if this gets stopped, you have to send it to the graveyard, and you're kind of left with no monster, so you can't really just keep extending from there. So and this is one of the reasons why I'm playing the Crossout Designator engine in here, just because if your Rescue Cat gets stopped, it's kind of hard to recover from there. So Ash or getting Veilered or Imperm. So more extenders would be Parallel Exceed. I was going back and forth with 2 copies or 3 copies, but I maxed it out at 3 because I think it's the best extender out there. I was trying out different kind of tactics and tech cards, but this seems to be just the best option. And then we have just another Rescue Cat target would be Villafron. Let's see if that focus there. There you go. It's really amazing because it's a level 2 tuner. You can bring it out with Hulk. You can bring it out with Rescue Cat, and the beast guys, the Scareclaw beast, they're level 3 Earth. So this Rescue Cat can make a Netzeria beast right away. And then we still play the Hulk engine. So we have the Scythe. We have 0 Day because I really like the codebreaker engine. It's as long as you can make Tryhard, which is super easy. You can get into 2 more monsters, and then you just pop off from there, and then that's where your Nightmare Griffin takes in play. And then for the Crossout Designator target, we have the 2 Nibiru, because Nibiru hurts a lot. I know a lot of people don't really even play it because of the sprite, but it's good to have it. And one of the reasons why I like playing the Crossout Designator is just because the side cards here also help you either go first, or if you end up going second, it helps you kind of stop your opponent. So it's a win-win. So 2 Nibiru, 2 Ash, play 2 Veiler. I go back and forth between Veiler and Ghost Bell, but it looks like not a lot of people are main decking Ghost Bell. It's more like the Imperm, Veiler, and Ash that they're maining. So That's the reason why I went with this ratio. But the good thing about it is that your side deck can be 2 cards of each of whichever one you want, or even 1 card. So you can always kind of adjust it based on like what the meta is. That's what's the good thing about this deck. There's a lot of 1 card combo in here or 2 card combo that just pushes out for a game or pushes out for like a really stunning board, and the rest is just kind of fillers. And then one more would just be the Ghost Ogre. I don't really use this as a crossout designator target. It's more of a Hulk, because there's times where if you draw the Scythe, you can still make a Hulk just so you can bring out the Wonder Magician. But with Hulk, you still bring out a tuner. So what you do is bring this out, and even though you cannot activate the effect of the tuner that Hulk brings out, you can use this on your opponent's turn. This is one of the ghost girls that you can actually use when it's on the field, not just by discarding it. And then for the spells, I cut down to 2 arrival, just because you can search it right away. And then most of the time, after you use the second one, you don't really need the third one anymore. So we have the 2 arrival and then the 1 straddle. Straddle doesn't really come out as much, but it's still useful. If you draw into it and then they try to target your monster, it kind of helps. And plus it's searchable, so I just figured like I just keep playing it. And then the best one, the field spell. So the field spell gives you the search, but it also gives you the pop effect. So this is one of the ways that you can kind of get rid of Mystic Mine, because the summon are inherent summon, so it does not start a chain. You can pretty much just kind of keep special summoning the Scareclaw monsters, and then once you have 3 defense position monster, or even it even counts the opponent, you can pop 1 card. That's when you pop Mystic Mine. And then speaking of field spell and Mystic Mine, we have 1 copy of Mystic Mine. Now, this, for just being 1 copy, it actually helps out a lot, just because we have all the field spell, and most of the time you search a field spell with Lightheart. So we have a copy of Terraforming just to get the copy of the Rycophobia, but most of the time you search this with the Lightheart, so you have the option to search a different field spell, which would be your best option is Mystic Mine. There's a lot of times where if you end up going second, this deck can go first or second, but if you end up going second and they have a full board, you can just activate Mystic Mine and then just keep going off with your play without getting interrupted with hand traps. So it helps out. And then the hand trap stopper, or anti-meta stopper, pretty much. We have 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Really like this card. This got reprinted as the Prismatic Secret Rare in the new tin, but I already have the copies of the Ultra, so I just want to play this. But this basically says no to anything that the meta is playing. So if they're playing a bunch of hand traps, imperms, Dark Ruler No More, Ashes, Veiler, anything like that, you can stop it and then you can go off with your play. Because once you're able to do your board, even your mediocre board, which is the Scareclaw Tryhard and 1 back row, or Scareclaw Tryhard plus Appaloosa, any of those combinations, there's quite a bit of place in here, but any of those combination can still prevent your opponent from playing. And then on your next turn, you just pop off a lot more, and you can go from game because of the multiple attacks, and then your opponent's monster and defense. You can do piercing. There's a lot. So yeah, the triple Crossout Designator, it's really amazing. And then with that, another target for Crossout Designator is Dark Ruler No More. So most of my tech choices here for the Crossout Designator are basically cards that can also help me. But mainly the cards that I'm picking are cards that would potentially hurt the deck. So it is very monster heavy and monster oriented combo. where I would bring out most of the boards. I would end up with either Tryhard and an Appaloosa, or Tryhard and Nat Beast, Tryhard with Hulk and Dagda combo, or Tryhard with Cheng. It's a combination of either one of those. So Dark Ruler No More really does hurt, which you have a natural out to this, which is the Scareclaw's Clash, because you can negate uh, any cards with the trap card. But also at the same time, having the Crossout Designator gives you a lot more option, and you can out the Dark Ruler No More with it, since you can't negate it with monster effect. And then for one-offs, we have the Monster Reborn, the Harpy's Feather Duster, Call by the Grave, Change of Heart, Mind Control. Um, these two are really amazing, just because Tryhard just requires 3 effect monster. So what you can do is just take one of your opponent's monster if you end up going second. So you just take that. It takes care of your board breaking, and then it gives you the option to link off with it. So it's really super useful and super powerful. And then for the trap cards, we have the one Splash. Sometimes I feel like I want to play more of this, just because I end up really using it a lot on the first turn instead of searching the arrival. But searching the arrival gives you the extender, so I'm kind of back and forth on how many copies I should play. But so far, just one copy is fine. And then also at the same time, you can reset this with Griffin, so it's pretty amazing. And then the 2 Imperm, just because this is another Crossout Designator target, but also at the same time it's super useful. So if you go second, you can negate one of their monster effect and then pop off. Alright, and then for the extra deck, now this one, it gets a little grindy. I've been playing with my buddy, and we kind of know how the deck works. Both of our deck works, so we've been kind of getting a lot of really good games, so we know how each other's decks work. So I've been kind of back and forth with playing either 3 copies of each or 2 copies, but so far I think this should be fine. 2 copies of the Lightheart, 2 copies of the Tryheart. That by the time that you use both of them, that you should either have game, or you're too far behind from the game, and you just can't keep up. But there are other plays, so 2 and 2 should be fine. For the codebreaker, I really like this little engine, just because it does give you the option to go into Griffin, and it just extends so much more. And also they're also link, so they won't go to defense. So these guys can also just go for attack. And then we have the Hulk and Dagda combo. It's good. I mean, you have the option to play it, so why not? Unicorn and Griffin, there's really good options for a higher link. Griffin's usually my go-to, so the play would be making a Tryhard, have the Parallel Exceed, or any combination of just getting 2 more monster, and then you go into the Codebreaker engine, and then it just keeps summoning, and then you go into Griffin. Appaloosa is really good, because again it hurts when you get Nibiru, or if you get Dark Rulered, and then there's no other option. So what you usually do is have the Scareclaw's Clash. After you negate the Dark Ruler No More with his Clash, you have like 3 or 4 negates with Appaloosa. So this one's a new edition, which I feel like it's going to be really, really good. Underworld Goddess, I've tried this out online, really love the card, but it was high on price, so I ended up selling the other copy before. But now that it got reprinted and super cheap, I'm going to start playing this again, and I have a feeling it's going to help out a lot. Nat Beast for the Villafron and any of the level 3. This is really amazing against Runic. I tested it out online, it was amazing. Anything that like reliant on like their spells. I've been playing against my buddy, which has like evil twins, so he's been trying to like kind of bait out and trying to negate the Naturia Beast, but his only out was like the Dark Ruler no more, which takes care with the Splash or the Crossout Designator, and then the rest of the spells, Nat Beast takes care of it. And then for the Hulk engine, we have the Wonder Magician and Cheng Ying. So Wonder Magician will pop the Scythe will come back, and then Wonder Magician will synchro into Cheng Ying. This is not as effective as one of the decks that we built, which is Zombies, because with Zombies you can normally just banish your cards and then kind of pop off from there, and then this guy would keep triggering. With this guy, mainly you just protect your Triart by banishing the Scareclaw Arrival, and then you can use this effect to start banishing from field and graveyard. So yeah, but still really good card. It's still a better option, and a cheaper option than Baron de Fleur. So I'd rather go with something like this. So yeah, that is the main deck and the extra deck. Hopefully in the next couple of days we get the ban list, so I can update this with the new list.